My girlfriend tried to unalive me as a prank twice. Am I the asshole for breaking up with her? My girlfriend, 20 female, is completely crazy, but mostly in a good way.
You sure about that?
Yeah, I don't know if she's trying to kill you. Not a good luck. Spontaneous is an understatement. Sometimes she goes too far, but I love her for her crazy, quirky personality.
I hate it already.
I, 18 male, am more relaxed and we balance each other out. Two recent incidents really freaked me out though, and I need advice.
Go ahead, OP.
OP, this is not off to a strong start. I was driving on a highway with a lot of traffic. We're going maybe 40 miles an hour. She suddenly started tickling me and wouldn't stop when I yelled at her. I jammed on the brake and someone almost hit us from behind. I asked her, what the is wrong with her? But she just laughed about it and told me to chill, daddy.
Daddy, chill.
What would make you want to do that? And she said, I don't know. I just felt like it. She's so quirky and crazy.
Blood boiling.
Then last Sunday, I was hiking with her and I was standing near this steep cliff. I'm usually wary of her because, you know, you never know what's going on with her. And it's usually just a prank. If you have to worry about standing next to a cliff because you think your girlfriend might push you off, that's a red flag.
Excuse me.
I let my guard down and she went behind me and pushed me towards the cliff, and I swear I almost fell off. She did it hard and I ended up right at the edge. She was laughing so hard. I freaked out and started screaming at her, and I may have been out of line, but holy she laughed about it at first, but then started crying and saying she was so sorry. The next day, she started texting me saying that she didn't mean any harm and that she just didn't know that I would get so mad at her for doing that. And there is an update, but OP, you cannot be that desperate.
Yeah, seriously. Oh, you deserve better.
There is more to this story.
Okay.
I'm kind of lonely and I really love her, but this really made me think of the situation because I feel like she's legit crazy, not just fun and crazy. And also, I just remember that she told me a story when we first met about how she tricked an allergic friend into eating some nuts and how funny it was. I guess I shouldn't have written this off. And there is more of an update. So I've been thinking a lot and I decided I'm ending my relationship with her. When people brought up the sadism aspect, it sort of clicked. So like sadistic is like when you enjoy pain in others.
Yeah.
Which is not a vibe for a relationship.
Terrible.
I remember earlier this year, her dad got a job at a front desk at this apartment complex. There were a lot of older people living there, and right near the entrance of the building, there was an elevator which only went up. Then there was a main elevator, which was kind of far down a long hallway. She had to call that first elevator down after the person was approved to go into the building. One time, me and her were smoking and just chilling about stuff, and she was laughing about how she could sometimes disable the up elevator and pretend it was out of order, and then she'd watch these older handicapped people walk down this long hallway to get to the main elevator.
No.
She's just cackling on making old people have heart attacks. She got fired pretty quickly because she activated the fire alarm when there was no fire. When they asked her what happened, she pretended that the computer was glitching and she couldn't stop it, but they believe she did it on purpose, so they fired her. I'm sure some people could have been injured during the chaos. I guess the alarm must have disabled the elevator, so everyone had to grab their stuff and run down the stairs as quickly as possible. I can imagine all these elderly people going down so many flights of stairs. I don't think anyone was injured, but they did fire her and maybe are still investigating. I don't know if it could help, but I'm going to call that place and tell them what she told me and how she admitted to pulling the alarm on purpose. That will help my conscience a lot. Like I said, I feel terrible about ignoring stuff. I want to break up with her, but I don't know how she's going to react, and I want to be safe.
True.
If she'll push you off a cliff while you're dating,
For a prank?
and then imagine what she would do if she really wants to get back at you. For example, she has keys to my house and I'm living with other people, including kids. So I want to change the locks and make sure we're not tied together in any other way before I do an official breakup. I could use any advice on the best way to do a breakup in this situation because I'm kind of worried. Once again, thanks so much for all your advice last time and have a good day. Also, there's a short update. Well, it's over. I officially broke up with her, but there's nothing else.
Wow. This lady's insane.
This lady's insane.
Also, when you read 18 male, that's kind of when I was like, okay.
Makes sense.
I could see where.
If this was like my first relationship, I feel like I would have made a lot of excuses because you don't know when you're going into a first relationship, like you don't know what's normal. Yeah, but this girl sounds absolutely bonkers.
He has to break up with her. The only question, which I think is fair to ask, is how does he do this safely for himself?
I think you got to move countries, OP. I think you send a letter in pig's blood and then move to Australia. And with that, we'll go into the next story.
Let's get it. I just took a giant dump in the parking lot and now I'm in trouble. Am I the a-hole? You know what, Sam? There's all these movements. There's free the nipple.
But how about the bowel movements?
What about the bowel movements? Okay, let me set the scene. I'm on my way to an event on a sunny Sunday morning, driving to the train station to catch a train. The station is in a pretty divey area near me. I pull up, park, and just as I get out of my car, I feel a familiar pain in my lower stomach.
It's the pain of a giant
Well, this can only mean one thing. My IBS is flaring up. Oh crap, I think to myself.
Nice.
Oh well, I'll use the toilets at the train station. So I power waddle to the station, clenching my butt cheeks with a force that could crush several Coke cans. I get to the station to find that all of the toilets are locked on Sundays.
Yikes.
Oh Now I'm really in trouble. I panic and run back to the car in the hopes of finding a bush or well-hidden area. I frantically scan the almost empty parking lot, but alas, to no avail. In a moment of sheer desperation, as I can feel myself about to have an accident, I figured the best option in this deserted car park would be to squat in between my car and the car next to me. That was the most privacy I was going to get.
Yeah, and what you could do is you could open up both car doors to give yourself like a little...
Yeah, a little hut.
A little hut, yeah.
Yeah, a little door porta potty.
It's not like I've done this before.
I checked the car to see if anyone was inside. Thankfully, it was empty. A quick scan of the car park assured me that I was definitely alone. So I pulled down my pants and braced myself in between two cars and squatted down. What followed can only be described as moderately explosive.
My God.
I was feeling like this was a new low for me. Shitting in a dodgy train station car park on a Sunday morning. Although with this being a particularly rough town, I thought to myself, I'm probably not the first person to do this in the car park, and I definitely won't be the last.
You can take solace in that.
But little did I know, things were about to get a lot worse.
This show was sponsored by your sweet, sexy ass.
If you support our Patreon, you'll get one long, hard, extra bonus episode every week.
I'm talking 3 juicy stories right into those ear holes.
You'll get ad-free episodes. I'm talking all of those ads completely off. All natural.
Not to mention, we'll do it together, live, in front of a camera. With Assholes Anonymous, you'll get a chance to talk to us directly and maybe be featured on the YouTube channel.
Wait, say, but not like that. Like, the fans get to share their stories with us and other fans, and we get to talk about it, right?
And then we'll moon each other at the end.
Oh, God.
So if you want all that axe ass, support your boys at patreon.com/OKOP show.
That's patreon.com/OKOP show. After finishing and cleaning myself up, my IBS buddies know that we will always carry an emergency loo roll with us just in case.
What's a loo roll?
Toilet paper. I got back to my car, relieved that I got away without anyone seeing me. By this point, I had missed my train, so I pulled away to drive to another station to get a faster train. As I reversed out, I realized I had made a terrible mistake.
What?
Whilst I had indeed correctly identified the car park as devoid of people and the cars were unoccupied, in my haste to relieve myself, I had no thought to check the make and model of the car parked next to me.
Oh, it's a Tesla.
It was a Tesla Model S.
Bro, I called it.
Oh, God. For those of you who own Teslas or sim for Elon Musk will know where this is going, but for the normal people among us, let me explain the true horrific realization that dawned upon me. Tesla Model S has this wonderful little feature called Sentry Mode. When someone gets closer, touches your Tesla, it will automatically start recording from several external high-definition wide-angle cameras with audio to boot.
Oh, geez. So you're going to get the explosion in there, too.
Now, it saves this footage and it sends it to the owner's Tesla app with an alert that someone is tampering with the car. So some poor mother effer has been woken up on 8:30 a.m. at this Sunday morning to receive an alert that their precious Tesla is being tampered with. They will have opened the app to find the footage of my pale, wobbly ass descending next to their car, followed by explosive dookie, with some monstrous farts and many expletives being groaned. F you, Elon Musk. F you. I'm now panicking, fully expecting a knock on my door from the police, or worse, for this footage to wind up on some dodgy scat website with the Tesla owner raking in the royalties.
Do you really think you're getting royalties from this footage? Is there a whole subcategory of people that are watching other people?
I feel like everyone kind of has a story like this where they did not have a bathroom and had to take emergency procedures. I would love to know everyone's like emergency bathroom tales and woes.
I was surfing in Mexico and then I was in like a super remote beach in like San Jose del Cabo. So instead of going back all the way in where I would have to fight the waves, I decided to go all the way out and then did a little dookie. But the thing that I didn't realize is like maybe because of the salt water and stuff, the dookie rises. It doesn't sink to the bottom. And so that thing started rising up and then the current started pushing it towards me.
It was trying to catch a wave,
and so
bro.
I'm running away and then a big set comes and is like carrying and having the turd surf towards me. And so I had to duck under cover. And luckily, I don't think I got hit by my own turd, but I've learned my lesson. Don't poop in the ocean.
You know, even
those turds float.
Sam is such a great surfer. Even his turds are just like absolute pros, just shredding the gnar.
Shred some gnar, yeah.
But if you have something that can outgross that, ladies and gentlemen, please go
Put
for it
in the comments.
And let's get into something a little cleaner.
I refuse to tell my wife about my $4 million fortune. I don't care if she's drowning in student debt. Am I the a-hole?
Why give people money when I can keep it for myself?
It's called capitalism. Let the poor people stay poor.
What do they do to deserve this money?
Exactly. So they should get no money in return.
Exactly.
So after taxes, my winnings came just shy of $4 million. I paid off all my debts, hired an accountant, fixed some things on my truck, and put most of it in savings. I kept my job, didn't move, and kept my effing mouth shut. My brother is a meth head. My sister is a spiteful whore, and my mom still blames everything on my dad who died 10 years ago. So I didn't want them scrambling to pretend to give a shit about me for cash.
What a beautiful family.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys are really tight.
Yeah.
I've been dating a girl for about 3 years and recently asked her to marry me. She said yes. I bought a modest ring just over what people would expect given my known employments. This weekend, I'm going to lay everything out for her so I can truly know she's in it for me and not the money. It's going to be liberating to be able to buy what I want and take care of my friends. Totally worth the wait. And there is an update. So basically, he's going to marry her and like tell her everything.
But like, he's going to spend all this money now after he tells his wife to be. If you're able to still hide it, why not just do that before?
I guess he's just like, now I have a wife. I can spend it with her and just completely get rid of my family. Maybe he's just like planning on going no contact with his family.
Maybe. That could make sense.
Okay, so here's the update. I received a lot of feedback on my post and several people expressed interest in the outcomes of revealing my finances to my new fiance after keeping her in the dark for so long. People who want to catch up can read my original post. So my plan was a relaxing evening. On the odd weekend, we both managed to be free from work or other plans. We went to an early dinner at one of our favorite Italian places, an inexpensive little diner nearby with great appetizers.
Ooh.
And then finally went to see Star Wars. After the movie, we grabbed some beer and wine for the evening and went home to relax. So it sounds like a nice little
it's very cute
evening with a girlfriend. Skip the weekly small talk about work, friends, and the accompanying few drinks in. And I told her I wanted to be open about everything with each other leading up to the marriage. She got kind of quiet and a little guarded and said, well, yeah, so do I. Pausing with the look people get when they want you to keep talking.
Oh, keep talking, Big Daddy-O.
I told her we were never truly going to have to worry about money, that she could do whatever she wanted with her job or stay at home or change careers, anything, because I had north of $3 million in the bank.
God damn.
Her response was the slow, what are you talking about kind of thing. I got up and pulled a financial statement I'd printed out and stashed in the coffee table drawer, handed it to her and told her I'd won it all a couple years before we met.
He was ready with the receipts.
She started crying, like sobbing uncontrollably crying and looked terrified. I got really worried and started explaining I kept it hidden because I didn't want my shitbag family hunting me down, that I didn't want people around me to change or to lose friends. Then she started apologizing, saying she should have told me before I proposed, that she has about $40,000 in student loan and credit card debt and thought that was going to break the engagement. She thought I was so financially responsible that there was no way I'd take on that debt because she never told me about it. It's why she's been so open to a prenup in the vague conversations we had about it before, why she never brought up or talked about money. So after a long conversation about openness and trust, even mentioned some of you cynical bastards' opinions, we hashed out some ideas on what we would agree on for the prenup in regards to premarital debt assets and all of that. I'm going to pay off her debt after we're married, so the tax issue is less of a concern, and all of my winnings will remain mine should we divorce. However, interest and dividends will be marital assets. So any appreciation on the money they'll share.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
All told, I'm very pleased with how things played out, and we're in a great place for it. We're working with an attorney and my accountant this week, and I'll be putting my 2 weeks notice in at work. She wants to keep her job, but will request some time off so we can take a vacation and settle in to actually enjoying some money. I talked with friends about paying off his house and all that. He very firmly refused anything for himself, but was very grateful for the offer to set up his daughter's college fund. I'm going to keep leaning on him though. I think he'll come around to accepting some repayment of the kindness he showed me, maybe a vacation at the very least. That's all, folks. I'll check in from time to time. If you guys have questions, happy Monday.
Wow. This I feel like was a story that could have gone really wrong. Like someone turns into a monster the minute they find out they have money and try to siphon it away.
They kind of both did the same bad thing to each other, but in reverse. Like he didn't tell her that he had a bunch of money and she didn't tell him that she had a bunch of debt.
Yeah. That
But
is
I
so
guess
funny.
they kind of they're perfect for each other.
Yeah, it worked out. And I'm glad that they it seems like a pretty level-headed, reasonable situation. And it's probably stay together, her fingers crossed. And then OP has all her debt wiped out and probably still enjoys the spoils of that money anyways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's a very win-win situation.
Yeah, it sounds like all is well that ends well. I'm happy that it all panned out. I just hope that they're both honest with each other at this point forward.
Totally. I would love to know for all of our OKOP married people out there, do you have a prenup or do you have any prenup stories?
And what is in your prenup?
Yes.
What is in your prenup? Let us know.
Put the contract in the comments.
We'll see you soon.